would you like to be but a Trump rally, right? Watch better. Hello, Colorado. We love Colorado, most beautiful place. And I'm thrilled to be back in Colorado Springs. I've spent a lot of time here over the years. Beautiful place beneath the majestic peaks, that's true, of the Rocky Mountains with thousands of terrific, hardworking, great American patriots. With your help this November, we are going to defeat the radical Democrats. And we are going to win Colorado in a landslide. And you're going to help us get Cory Gardner across that line because he's been with us 100%. There was no waiver. He's been with us. There was no waiver with Cory. We appreciate it. Thank you, Cory. Thank you. This month, we mark a very special anniversary. 75 years ago this week, our brave United States Marines landed on the shores of Iwo Jima and began one of the bloodiest battles of the Second World War. It was a rough one. Tonight, it's our great privilege to be joined by three of the heroes of the Battle of Iwo Jima: James Blaine, Donald Whipple, and John Thurman. Great, great patriots, very brave people. And tonight, we also honor the life and extraordinary, really, of a very extraordinary American hero, one of the last known survivors of the attack on the USS Arizona at Pearl Harbor on December 7th, 1941. He was in the Oval Office just recently, a little while ago, about a year and a half ago. And we just want to pay our respects, okay? You know who it is? Donald Stratton, well-known guy, just passed away. Sadly, he passed away just a few days ago. He was going to be here. Passed away a few days ago, but he was great. I have a beautiful picture of him right outside, and we're going to honor him and his family. Great, great gentleman. So we were going to have four. We have three, and we want to thank you for being here. Thank you all. Thank you. Because America is truly a land of heroes. On behalf of the grateful nation, I would like to recognize the many veterans of the Vietnam War and the Iraq and Afghanistan wars who are here this evening. Got a lot of them. Brave people, great people. This is a truly incredible time for America. We have the best economy in our history, the most prosperity of any country. We are doing better than any country in the world, and it's not even close. And we've rebuilt our military over the last 3 years. Don't tell anybody, but we spent $2.5 trillion, but when it comes to our military and our safety and our security, we don't worry about budgets, right? We don't worry about budgets. We had to rebuild it. It was depleted. It was in bad shape. It was old. It was tired. We have the best people in the world, but that old equipment, now we have brand new jets. We have brand new missiles and rockets. We have everything. All made in the USA. In my State of the Union address, I proudly declared that we are in the midst of the great American comeback. That's what we're doing. Our country is stronger today than ever before. After 3 years of ridiculous witch hunts and scams and partisan Democrat crusades, the radical left's attempt to poison our democracy and overturn the last election have totally failed. They have been a complete flop, and we today have the highest poll numbers we've ever had. Today just came out. And I don't know if anybody watched last night's debate. It got very big ratings. And you know what? Mini Mike didn't do well last night. I was going to send him a note saying, it's not easy doing what I do, is it? Not easy. It's not easy, Mike. Not easy for any of them. No, Mike didn't do too well. He went way down. It's all right. Mini Mike. How about Klobuchar? Did you see her? She choked. She choked. She choked. She couldn't breathe. Alfred E. Newman looked at her and said something slightly derogatory. And she said, are you accusing me of being dumb? Who would make a statement like that? Because that's really what he was doing, but he doesn't want to say that. No, how about that? Are you saying I'm dumb? That was the end of her campaign in my book, you know. You don't say that. Even if it's true, you don't say that, right? You know, they had a crazy person on today on one of the Fox shows. I tell you, Fox doesn't treat us the way they used to. But we have the great Sean Hannity, we do. Now we have Laura and Tucker. And we have, in the morning, Fox and Friends, Steve and Ainsley. And Brian's gotten much better. He's moving up. And we have the great Lou Dobbs. Lou Dobbs says he's the greatest president ever. The great Lou Dobbs, he said, Lou Dobbs, a year and a half, 2 years ago, he said he's the greatest since Reagan. Then he said, about 6 months ago, he's better than Reagan. And then he said a few nights ago, he's the greatest we've ever had. I said, does that include Lincoln and George Washington? He said, that includes them all. That's Lou Dobbs. The great Lou Dobbs. And you've got Hegseth, and you've got Jesse Waters. How about Jesse? And Judge Jeanine. And even Greg got fun. You know, Greg hated us, right? But now he says, look, whether I like him or not, he gets it done. It's all about getting it done, right? We're getting it done. Nobody's ever done what we've done. No, but Fox says it. I don't know. It's different. It was different. In the old days, it was better for us. It was better for us. But it's okay. We'll win anyway. We'll win anyway. No, but they had this woman on, Neil Cavuto, doesn't treat us good, Neil Cavuto. He's not too good. She said, I don't like him. Nobody likes him. He's right now, so you had, remember last in the ratings? You remember who was last in the ratings? He got fired, right? You remember? Right? Remember? He's gone. And now Neil's taking his place. Neil's actually a nice guy, but, he doesn't like Trump too much. And he put this woman on today, and she said, Donald Trump didn't do well in the debates, and he won because she was referring to Mike Bloomberg, sometimes referred to as Mini Mike. Mini Mike. And I said, wait a minute, I won every debate. It's true. And we sent them polls, poll after poll after poll. Not only won them, but won them by a lot. I won every debate. I'm just saying every poll, they do those polls right after 300,000, 400,000, 500,000 people, Time magazine. I said, nobody's allowed to do that. You can't do that. We're at enough of a disadvantage with the fake news. They make up 90% of the story. So where is Dan Scavino? Where's Scavino? Does anyone know who Dan Scavino is? Dan, bring me those pages up here. Bring those pages up. See if you can get them. Go get them. It's such fake news. It's so disgusting. You know what? They'd do better if they told the truth. Do you agree? They'd do better. Oh, someday in 10, 14, 18, 22 years when I'm gone, when we leave office in 26 years or so, they're going to miss us. They're going to miss us. You know, I told the story that a month before I ran, 2016, I was thinking about it. I said to my wife, who's become a great first lady, people love her. You know, they said it's one of the greatest fields ever assembled. And I said, what the hell should I run for if they're so great? But I remember holding up the New York Times, and it was like a leaflet that you give at like a supermarket, right? It's like, you know, the thing was blowing in, it was dead. And now it's successful again. But when we leave, it's all of us. We leave together. We're unified. This is the most unified the Republican Party has ever been. And when we leave, the New York Times, thank you, the great Dan Scavino, most powerful man in politics. Hey, Dan, so Zuckerberg left. Who is #1 in the world on Facebook? And I'm saying this in front of the fake news because if I'm wrong, they're going to report me, right? Who is #1 in the world on Facebook? He walked in, but that's us. He walked in we had dinner recently, just because I want them to pay taxes. I want to find out what's going on. But he walked in, he's smart, and he said, I just want to congratulate you. Small dinner, a few people. He said, you're #1 in the world in Facebook. I said, that's nice. I said, who's #2? He said, Prime Minister Modi of India. I said, wait a minute. He's got 1.5 billion people, and we have 350. So he should be #1, but we're never going to give up that position of #1 in the world for our country, for Facebook, for Twitter, for anything, and they still haven't figured it out. They have not figured it out. But look at all that press. Look at all that press. By the way, how bad were the Academy Awards this year? Did you see it? And the winner is a movie from South Korea. What the hell was that all about? We got enough problems with South Korea, with trade. On top of it, they give him the best movie of the year. Was it good? I don't know. You know, I'm looking for like, where, let's get Gone with the Wind. Can we get like Gone with the Wind back, please? Sunset Boulevard. So many great movies. The winner is from South Korea. I thought it was best foreign film, right? Best foreign movie. No, it was did this ever happen before? And then you have Brad Pitt. I was never a big fan of his. He got up and said a little wise guy statement. Little wise guy. He's a little wise guy. Anyway, but we're doing well. But here, I'll just show this real quick, right? So this horrible journalist, she's a real, you know, she's a Trump hater. She gets, you know what she's worth? 0 ratings. Nobody watches her. But she said, she was trying, look, Bloomberg made a fool out of himself last night. He choked. He's another one who's going, I can't breathe. I can't breathe. Don't ask me the question, please. I look at my wife, I said, let's send him a little note. It's not so easy up there to do what I did, right? Not so easy. But this woman who's a 3rd-rate, 4th-rate, she's been with everybody. Every year she's like with a different group, but I won't use her name because we'll make her too famous. It actually plays to their advantage, but she's 3rd-rate. And she's on the lowest-rated show on Fox, Neil Cavuto. So that's why. So she said, Donald Trump didn't get good ratings. He didn't do well in the polls. He said he didn't do well in the debates. She said that we were defeated in the debates. Well, I defeated crooked Hillary every time. And by a lot. So wait. So yeah, she's crooked as a $3 bill. You know, I was going, whatever happened to the 33,000 emails? Whatever happened? 33,000, she deleted them and acid washed them, and she didn't get in trouble. Can you imagine if a Republican did that? They would want to bring back the death penalty, right? Two standards, but I think things are happening. I think, you know, I said drain the swamp. I just never knew how deep it was. We have more garbage in the swamp than you would ever believe. And this is part of the swamp. So what happens? She said Donald Trump didn't do well in the debates. Now, you know, remember my answer? Rosie O'Donnell, right? First question I've ever, and we took down the House. Then the second, Brett Baer, he asked me, I had to raise the hand. I'm the only one, I guess, that raised the hand, right? And the place went crazy because I was the only one telling the truth, okay? Turned out I was the only one telling, and you know, the people get it. But she said, I didn't do well in the debates. I said, really? I won every single debate. We had 15 or 14 debates, and we had the presidential debates with crooked Hillary against myself. So here's one. I don't want to, you know, I'm a little guilty because these are all my friends, right? A lot of them are my friends now. They weren't my friends then. They were my mortal enemy. It's hard to be friends when you're competing against somebody, right? You're right about that. So here's Donald Trump. 67. The next one was 13%. The next one was 5%, 4%, 3%, 2%, 2%, 2%, 1%, 1%, and 0. But here it is. All right, that's Time magazine. All right, that's Time. They don't like me. I don't like them either, by the way. Although, actually, I do like the new owner. This year, I got beaten out by Greta. You know Greta? The last year I got beaten out. I've won it, but when the world evolves around all of us, we should be chosen. There's nothing wrong with it, right? I mean, we've won it, but we should win it every single year, let's face it. And now they call it Person of the Year. They don't call it Man of the Year, and I know the Trump. And Ted Cruz, I can say he came in second. You know, he was a great debater. And Marco came in third. And a guy who I don't like much, and they don't like him much in Ohio either, Kasich. He was way down, way down. Okay, look, who won? Trump? Okay. Here's another one. Look, again, a different one, Time magazine. Trump, 33%. Ben Carson, good man, he was down. Marco, Jeb, Ted. Carly Fiorina, a name I haven't heard in a long time. What happened to Carly? And Rand, good poll. Here's the story. Look, but way up, way up. Look at it. Here's another one. Look at that. Trump, 46%. I didn't make this up. Here's another one. This is a different debate. I don't know. They're all different. I won every one of them. Look, Trump. I just took these at random. 46%. Second, 5%. 3%, 5%, 3%, 9%, 5%, 11%. Trump, 46%. Here's another one. CNBC. Well, you know, the market's been up. They've actually been not so bad. And Joe Kiernan is a good guy. He is a good guy. Some of the rest I don't care for too much. Becky's like, she plays it a little bit down the middle, right? Which is okay. Trump, almost 50%. Then they have all the rest of them. 14.4, 3, 2, 2.8, 2.54, 1.9. I'm not going to give you the names. I won't tell you that. I got 48.8. And Jeb Bush got 1.1. The rest I'm not going to talk about. But he hasn't been exactly a great supporter. You know? Sort of a never-Trumper, I guess. So Jeb, 1.9, 1.1. And Trump, 48. That's another one. Oh, here's a nice one. Here's a nice one. Look at this. Look at this. Trump, 70%. Next one is 18%. Next one is 7, 4, 3, 3, 3, 2, 1, 1, 1. Trump didn't do well in the debates. See, they're fake news. Here's another one. Trump kicked ass. Trump kicked ass. Trump 48. Number 2 was 6. Here's another one. Trump 75.6. Crooked Hillary was 24%. This was against Crooked Hillary. So look at that. Trump was 74.6. Crooked Hillary Clinton was 24.1. Trump was 80%. Crooked Hillary was 18%. And I've got this woman. You know who it is, right? Nobody knows her name. I'm not going to mention. But everybody knows Neil Cavuto. She has no credibility, and neither do you, Neil Cavuto. Here's another one, Crooked Hillary. And by the way, one is a Fox poll, one is Breitbart, one is a Drudge Report, one is a Patch, one is Syracuse.com, one is Polit Opinion. Oh, that's a good one. But look at these numbers. Trump, 92. What is this? So I'm winning every poll. I beat Crooked Hillary. Here's the one. Trump 61, Crooked Hillary 39, okay? That's what it is. And then I turn on the damn show on Fox. Again, it's not the same. It was much better. It really was. It was much better. I turn on Fox, and I've got this third-rate political journalist, if you call her that, saying, Trump did very poorly in the debates, but he became president. No, I did great in the debates. I became president because of the debates, because unlike Mini Mike, I could answer questions. And here's the final one. And I could get you another 15. These are all the ones that are taken right after people call in hundreds of thousands of people. They call in Time Magazine, CNBC. So here's a CNBC. Crooked Hillary Clinton, 39%. Donald Trump, 61%. And then this stupid person said, I didn't debate. Well, now look, you know, I don't mind. And you can have bad debates. But I won every single debate. And then I listened to this. Then 3.5, 4 years later, I have to listen to a person saying how we didn't do well because these people are among the most dishonest people anywhere in the world. Take it, take it. There it is. Okay, let's get back to business. Now I feel good. Now I feel good. She's a third-rate journalist. Let's go. We're standing up in defense of our Constitution, our freedom, and democracy itself, right? While the extreme left has been wasting America's time and doing all sorts of vile hoaxes, we went through hoaxes. We went through the impeachment scam. And by the way, Corey was with us all the way. He didn't move. He didn't budge. He said it's a lot of bull. He said it's a lot of bull. But while they're doing that stuff, and you know, we're working with a cloud. We're working with these people. They want to take you out. They want to change the results. They got caught spying. Let's say it like it is, right? They got caught spying on our election fake news. Hey, fake news. Take your cameras for a change and show them the room and show them behind you. Go ahead, show them the room. Show them the room. You see, they never do it, including Fox, by the way. Fox is not that much better. We just got lucky because we have some. All their high-rated shows are the shows that like Trump. All their loser shows like Cavuto are the shows that don't like Trump. How is Shep Smith doing lately, by the way? How's Shep Smith? He had the lowest ratings, and now Cavuto took his place, so that's okay. But they never show the room. My wife, our great first lady, she goes, I say, hi, honey, did you watch the debate? Yeah. How did the room look? Was that, because last night, I think we turned away 21,000 people. We had an arena that, it held like 12, but we fill up the basketball courts, right? Or the ice rink. We had to have 15, 16,000 people. It was like on fire. You all saw it. It was great. And she said to me, she said, darling, how did you do? I said, I did great. I said, did you see the arena? She said, no, they never show the arena. You know? You know that guy Dana White at UFC? Well, you know, I won't tell you about him yet, but he's a brilliant guy, right? I mean, he sold his crazy fighters, I mean, bomb. $4 billion he got with Fertitas, great people. But you know what? They're always showing. It's full. These fakers back there, they don't want people. But I'll tell you what my wife said. They don't show it. But you can't imitate 15,000 people when it comes to the noise. Look, they won't show it. They never show it. And we've never had an empty seat from the day I came down the escalator, not one. And what these guys do, if Mr. and Mrs. Jones, sitting right up there, beautiful couple, if she said, darling, I'm sorry, there's nothing I can do about it, darling, I have to go to the bathroom. He said, darling, I'll walk with you. The cameras glung onto those seats. They glung on. And they say there were 2 empty seats. Trump didn't fill up the arena. These are the worst people. But when I told them to spin around those cameras, they stayed that way. Now, if we had a protester somewhere in the arena, it could be up in that corner where it's loaded up with people. Those cameras, they look like a pretzel. They look like a pretzel. They want to find if there's trouble. Those same guys could cover anything. I used to think, well, it's the equipment. It's very rigid. They can't turn it. And then some idiot from up in the corner starts screaming stupid stuff. Of course, that's dangerous in this room, to be honest. We don't have it too much. They only pick on the guys that are all by themselves and aren't fighters. But if somebody up there does something, those cameras turn around, spin around like a pretzel. They bend, boom, they get... So that was the end of my theory that we have rigid equipment. No, and by the way, I told them, turn around. Not one of those cameras turned around to show the room. Because it's fake news. While the extreme left has been wasting America's time with vile hoaxes, we've been killing terrorists, creating jobs, raising wages, enacting fair trade deals, securing our border, and lifting up citizens of every race, color, religion, and creed, right? We added another 225,000 brand new, beautiful jobs last month. Way, way, way above what our great geniuses back there thought it would be. 225,000. Think of it. We right now have more people working in our country than at any time in the history of our country. Almost 160 million people. And right now, since the election, we go by the election, don't forget, a lot of things happened when we won. From the day we won, that beautiful November day, the most exciting night in the history of television, including UFC fights, The most exciting night, the biggest ratings in the history of television worldwide. They were watching. I have friends in Paris and London. What are you doing? I'm watching, 3 in the morning, 2 in the morning, 5 in the morning. They're watching. The whole world was watching. That was the most exciting television that anybody's ever seen. Even ESPN, some guy on ESPN said, this is the most exciting event I've ever seen. And all he does is watch sporting events and big ones. But since the election, 7 million brand new, beautiful jobs have been added. And we've invested more than $2 trillion into that military that we talked about. And we created something that's very exciting. And we have our great new general. I'll tell you, he was on a list of the most incredible men you've ever seen. The 6th branch of the United States Armed Forces, the Space Force. And I will be making a big decision for the Space Force as to where it's going to be located, and I know you want it. We'll be making that decision toward the end of the year. I was here. I was up at the Air Force Academy, and I greeted those kids. They were so great. I did the commencement address. Was anybody there? I did the commencement address. And the general said, sir, would you like to shake hands with the cadets? I said, does everyone else do it, President? Oh, yes, sir. What he didn't say is they'll shake 10 hands. I said, so they do. How many do you have? Sir, we have 1,156 cadets. I said, you mean other people do it? Yes, sir. But they don't do 1,156. They'll do 30, 40. They'll take the top 10 out of the class. I said, I'll do it. I stood there for 2.5 hours and the sun was blazing. True. And I shook 1,156 hands. And a lot of these kids are very strong physically. In fact, you have one of them as an example. He was the winner of the home run derby. Did you know that? College, think of that. The college home run derby. I said, let me see you. I want to see what you look like. He stands up, uniform, everything else. And by the way, I did something for Air Force, but I did something for all of the academies. If you were a great athlete, and they had a hard time recruiting, although they've done well, if you're a great athlete, you can't, we wanted to sort of get them to go, but they didn't because they didn't want to serve 5 years in the military, and then they'd go into the NFL or baseball. So I had one of the teams in. They said, sir, give us the waiver, sir. They've been after the waiver. You know what the waiver is? That means that if you're a great athlete, you can go to the Air Force Academy or Army, Navy, the Coast Guard. You can go to one of our service academies. I did the rule, and we got it through Congress. And you don't have to serve. You go directly into the major leagues, into the NFL, and you serve your time after when you get out. Isn't that great? And the Army coach, who's a great guy, all great guys, Navy coach, the Army coach, said, sir, if you do that, we can compete with anybody, because we lost a lot of great athletes who said, we just can't do that. Now they serve their time afterwards. Isn't that great? And we did it. They've been trying to get that for so many years. But I love that group of people. I saw this guy from the home run derby, and I shook hands. Oh, I shook hands. And they come up, and they're strong people. And they're shaking, and they're a little excited. They're a little nervous, maybe. They're meeting the president. They're a little nervous, and they're strong. They got big, strong hands, and they're saying, and I'm saying, hello. Sir, thank you. Man. I say, shit. What are you doing? I'm captain of my wrestling team, sir. I admire you greatly, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you. And I'm trying to act like it doesn't hurt. By the end of the day, I'm going, but we did it. And then I said, wait a minute. I said, General, no other president could do that. The presidents don't do that. He said, no, they do, sir, but they stop usually at around 50. Oh, that's great. But I love the Air Force Academy, and you have all of the infrastructure. So you're being very strongly considered for the Space Command. Very strong. And actually, I have to say this. I think I can say this, Mr. Senator, but the governor showed up at the plane today, your governor, Democrat. No, but in all fairness, he showed up because he wanted to lobby to see if they could get it. That's okay. That's all right. And we are going to be making that decision, Corey, when we make that decision, all right? Okay. But we've destroyed the ISIS territorial caliphate 100%. We killed the founder and leader of ISIS.